Okay, this is the old Maplewood Cemetery in Anderson, Indiana. Used to be called City Cemetery. Just gonna kind of walk around. This is Memorial Day 2026. I'm gonna kind of walk around, look at some markers. This is military marker of Peter Lemon, I believe that says. 47th Indiana Infantry. Thank you for your service. That was a Civil War marker. And here's another one. It's kind of hard to read. I'll let you look at that. Maybe the last name, Applegate. Yep, I bet it is, because here is an Applegate marker. So thank you for your service. There's a couple of markers I wanted to show while I was out walking around. Usually the cemetery is very well kept, and it is kept up well. Looks like they just need to mow it. So here's the marker. Looks like an infant. It's just too worn down. Looks like maybe a rose on top. Something you don't see very often are these slate markers. Unfortunately, I can't see a date on it. The top of it's missing, but it says sacred to the memory of Mary, daughter of John and Mary Stevenson, wife of James Kendall, who was born in, some county in Ohio, November 26, 1810, and departed this life in Madison County, Indiana, October 18, well, that might say 1835. And there's the Kendall family marker. Yeah, those slate markers, you don't see them very often, especially in the old city cemeteries. You see them more out east, for sure. I'm going to walk over here. There's a marker I want to talk about. And if you've seen some of my other videos, I've been here before, and over there, see if I can zoom in, that is Hilligoss family marker. 2 children died young. So let's go over here. See this marker over here. These are they're actually they're called Zinc markers. They're hollow inside. They were sold as white bronze, but they're actually just zinc. And they never really age. This was Amos Collins, who died August 1870, aged 50 years 10 months, 24 days. The only time they really break or they look wore out is if someone vandalizes them, because you can tell on these plaques you can take them off because they just screw on. You can buy whatever you want and put them on. That says finished labors are pleasant. So yeah, if you ever see these, they're called Zinkers. They're just zinc monuments. They were sold as white bronze. I'll take a walk over here. Here's another military marker. Just too hard to read, too worn out. And another infant. You can tell by the, looks like a sheep on top. And this is the area where former Vice President Mike Pence was from. And there are several Pence members out here. Obviously I don't know the relationship, if there is any, to the former Vice President, but here's one. Pence. And I don't see any, well, I guess there is one Pence marker over here. This is for a David Pence. March 1st, 1809 to March 22nd, 1883. That is the only Pence marker I see. There's another military. Thank you for your service. Looks like, and again, really hard to read. Maybe the 123rd Indiana Infantry. Here's a World War I veteran, Frank Post. January 1820, no, I'm sorry, I can't read that. It's died May of 1961. Maybe 1895, maybe. Thank you for your service. So yeah, sometime when you're out and about, just walk through an old cemetery and look at the names. You know, look at the markers. The bad thing about these old cemeteries is there's just very few flowers. You know, most have already been forgotten. But we don't forget people on this channel. And just as I say that, I see a marker with some fresh flowers. See if we can get the name on this one. Last name is Thomas. There's Marion, Rufus, and Velma. Enjoy this Memorial Day and remember the sacrifices those have made to protect our freedom.